Okay, so this is workout number 2, focusing a little bit more on strength and balance. So yeah, not so much cardio for this one. So we'll start with a warm-up as we usually do, and then bringing in some sort of compounds of multi-muscle exercises, finishing with a balance and core work. So to start with, we'll just warm up the arms and the shoulders. So we'll just do a few arm swings one way and then going the other way. Nice big circles. Just going at your pace, not going too quickly so you're not pulling them. Toby's nice and warm because we've just done the first workout, but if you're coming into this fresh, then you'll just take your time with the swings. You don't want to pull your muscle. Okay, and then we're going to just open out the chest. So back and forth with the arms, stretching through the chest and back. Different heights across the body. That's it. Just for a few seconds. Excellent. Okay, and then we're going to touch the ground and reach up. So you can have a bit of a bend in your legs here. That's absolutely fine. So going into a mini squat. That's it. So bringing down, hands in up. That's it. Good work. So just stretching through, warming up the lower body and upper body. Just picking up that heart rate just a little bit more, warming yourself up. Good stuff. Okay, and then standing rotation, so just twisting again from your waist and going side to side, looking over that back shoulder and warming up that back a little bit more, stretching through. Okay, and then back into the middle. So we're going to do the full moon circles again. So bringing the hands down towards the floor, resting the head in that position, so just that's it, to stretch through, and then breathing in, hands out to the side, nice big stretch, breathe out as you come down, and then go up the opposite way, reaching out as wide as you can, breathing out as you come down. Good. A couple of times each side. Brilliant. Last time, then hold it in the middle, and then we're going to roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Excellent, just roll those shoulders back. Okay, so standing at the back of your mat, we're going to go into an inchworm, so at the back of your mat. So you're going to bring your hands down towards the floor, and then you're going to crawl out into a plank. So your legs can obviously bend here as much as you need. Into that plank position, engage the core. Really important not to overdrop the hips, so that's in a perfect plank position. If Toby dropped the hips any more, it would be too low. And then bring your hands back towards your feet again. So lifting up the hips, bending the legs, and rolling yourself up. Good. Up to the stand, good. And we'll just do that a couple of times over. So leaning over, crawling out with the hands. Engage that core and then roll yourself back up again. Good work. And then again. Excellent. Bending the legs as you come up. Brilliant. And then rest there after you've done it a few times. Okay, so we're going to come to the front of your mat now. And we're just going to do a bit of a yoga flow here. So we're going to breathe in and bring the hands out to the side and lift them up above our head. So breathing in, arms up. And then we're going to breathe out and fold forwards, bring the hands down to the floor or near to the floor and step back. So obviously you can bend your legs, stepping back into that plank position. And lower yourself all the way down to the ground. You can bring your knees down onto the floor first to help with that lowering of your weight. All the way down. And then push yourself up just to the chest. Breathe in and stretch through that core. So nice deep breath in. Excellent. And let it go when you're at the top there. You can breathe out. Just relax. Good work. And then slowly lower yourself back down onto the floor. And then we're going to breathe in and bring the hips back towards the ankles and go into that child's pose. So breathing in, hips back, hands where they are, and just have that lovely stretch through the back. Nice deep breathing and just trying to expand through the rib cage. Excellent. And then when you next breathe in, you're going to bring those shoulders back over the hands, so you're in a tabletop position. So breathing in, bringing the chest over, and then you're going to step through with one leg. So you're going to bring one leg through, up towards the hands, as high as you can. So if you can bring that foot up a little bit more, Toby, that's it. And then the hand at the front there, next to the bent leg, is going to come up and out and twisting out. So we're just stretching through that hip flexor. Then bring that hand back down again. Bring that foot back. And we're going to change sides. So bringing the other foot through. You can take your time to adjust your position, support yourself, pull that leg up, as Toby just did there. And then that same hand at the front comes out and you're just stretching through. Nice deep breathing. Excellent. And then bring that hand back down to the mat and bring the leg back. Excellent. And then you're going to bring yourself into a downward dog. So you're just going to bring yourself off your knees, off your knees, and then your hips up towards the ceiling. So you're on your hands and your toes. So that's it. So a nice stretch into that downward dog. And just hold it there for a few moments. And take a couple of tiny steps with your feet towards your hands to then bring yourself up to a stand. You're bending your legs because you're going to roll and come up to a stand from there. Breathing in, bringing the arms up above your head as you come up. Excellent. And then breathe out, bring the hands back down to your sides. Excellent. And then relax there. Okay, so we're going to go into the first bit of strength. So with this, you can have a chair to support you if you need to, but we're just going to do a kneeling up and down. We're going to do this 10 times, so we're going to alternate with our legs. So we're going to come down onto one knee and then the other knee, and then standing up with the other. So that's 1. Good work. 2. So we're alternating sides. 3. Take your time. 4. So I think alternate your leg that you're coming up with. That's it. 4. 5. So again, if you need to have something to support you to come up, that's absolutely fine. Try not to use your hands as you come up. So not to sort of place your hands on your thighs, to sort of push up, trying to use your lower body. But if you need to have that bit of support, like I say, you know, you can do it against a wall or near a wall or near a sofa or whatever, near the kitchen side, just to give you that extra little bit of support as you go through that exercise. Okay, so after those 10 reps, we're going to move on and we're going to grab some dumbbells or some weights or can of beans, whatever you've got with you. And we're going to go into a squat and an upper body exercise at the same time. So as we go down into the squat, the opposite hand and foot come together. So Toby goes down into the squat and then brings his, say, left hand towards his right foot out in front. And then as he comes up, he's going to bicep curl and then bring that hand above his head into a shoulder press and then back down to the start. And then go again. So opposite hand to foot, bicep curl as you come up, shoulder press and back down to the start. So that's 2. Good work. 3. 4. 5. Excellent. Keeping the feet flat. Keep going. So we're going to do 10 of these. And pushing through the heels of your feet as you drive up. And as we come up with the bicep curl, you're bringing the palm of your hand towards your shoulder. And that will make the lift, as you go into that shoulder press, a lot easier. And that curl, the bicep curl, a lot easier. So Toby is rotating his hand and his arm as he goes through this exercise. So he's twisting his hand to face his palm towards his shoulder as he brings that weight up. Excellent. Okay. So after 10 of those, we're going to go into a lunge with a bicep curl. So nothing above the head. So hands start down at your sides and you're going to step out into a lunge, keeping the knee in line with the ankle and curling the hands up to the shoulder. And then step back, a big push back. Excellent. And drive back. Excellent. So again, 10 of these. Taking your time. You might be a little bit wobbly initially because you've got that extra weight there if you've got some dumbbells or anything else that you're using. So just go at your own pace. Trying to get a really good bend in that front leg as Toby's doing, so he's really engaging the quad there. So about 10 of these and then rest. Good work. Obviously, at any point, if you need to pause, take a pause and then come back in when you're ready. So we're going to move on. We've got 2 more strength exercises to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into a lunge stance. So we're not moving in this lunge position, but we're just sort of standing in that. So if you go, come out with one foot, doesn't matter which one, because we're going to do both sides. So, and come up just a little bit. So we're only slightly in the lunge stance, a little bit more. That's it. Good work. And then your opposite hand to the leg that's out in front is going to come up to your shoulder height, and then you're just going to drive up into a shoulder press, back down, bring it to shoulder. So, excellent. We're just going to do 5 each side. So this is now challenging your balance a little bit more, engaging that core, and obviously still working that shoulder and that quad that we've just been focusing on in that last exercise. So then step out of that. But we're just making it a little bit more challenging for the balance and the core here. So just slightly in that lunge position and just doing one arm after the other. Keep using the breath. Don't hold on to the breath because we're engaging the core here a bit more. It's common to just be so focused and to forget about the breath. And step back. Excellent. Okay, so the last one, we're going to come down onto the floor with our weights and we're going to lie on our back. Okay, so we're going to have the legs up, so the knees are above the hips and the shins are parallel to the floor. Now, if your lower back is arching or you feel your lower back is strained a bit too much here, you can pull your knees in towards your chest a little bit more So it just takes that strain off that lower back and just makes it a little bit easier on the core. So with the upper body, your hands are obviously holding onto the dumbbells, your palms are facing down towards the feet, and your elbows are shoulder height. Now we're going to push our hands up towards the ceiling and bring our hands together, and then lower down, controlling down, and then repeating. So we're just doing that chest press exercise, using the breath. So you're breathing out as you bring those hands up. So we'll do about 10 of these again. If it gets too much with the legs in that position, you can lower the feet down onto the floor. But by having the legs up in that position, it just means we're just challenging the body a little bit more, challenging the core, whilst we're focusing on the upper body. Excellent. So after 10 reps, you can rest. And now we're going to go on to some balance work. So we're going to come up onto our feet. Again, I'm bringing in an option to use some weights here, but you don't have to. So the first one is just standing on one foot. So bringing one foot up towards the shin or to just above the knee, wherever you can position. So just focusing on trying to keep the balance there. If you want more of that challenge, you can bring the arms out to the side with weights in, or with no weights, your shoulders will still feel a bit achy if you're able to hold it there for a little while. So there's a few variations here. You can keep the hands down, you can keep them up with weights or up with no weights. So just trying to focus on keeping yourself stable and balanced, giving yourself a focal point. So looking ahead and using the toes to really ground yourself and hold yourself in that position. And keep breathing through. So we'll do this for about 30 seconds each side. Excellent. If these shoulders get too achy, you can just bring the weights down and just focus on the balance. Because like I say, even with no weights, your arms, your shoulders will start to feel a bit achy, as I can imagine Toby can verify for that right now. Excellent. So yeah, focus on the breath, focus on trying to draw in that waist as well. So make sure just everything's engaged and working to support you to stay balanced throughout this. Excellent. A few more seconds. Good work. Excellent. Okay, so again, with or without weights, we're going to do another balance exercise, but we're just, if you do have a weight, I recommend just using one and holding it in two hands on the side. And you're going to bring yourself forwards as though you're going to dive into a pool, but bring that back leg out. So the leg that you're standing on has a slight bend in the knees, never sort of dead straight, because you don't want to put that strain on your lower back. But try to bring yourself over as far forward as possible. Again, you don't have to use a weight. And if this is too much, then you can use a chair or use the wall to support yourself as you come over. It's absolutely fine. So again, we'd try to do about 30 seconds each side. If you need to have a rest and come out, or you lose your balance, just come out and restart again. So Toby, come out of that and just see whether you can go back into it and extend out a little bit further. Just lifting that back leg up as high as you can and sort of almost trying to picture like your back is a table. So you're trying to want to get that back right over, and you're leaning over as much as possible. So we'll move on to the other side now, perhaps, Toby, because I think that's about 30 seconds. So the hands don't have to be together necessarily, just reaching them out. Excellent. Key thing is just not to have that leg that you're standing on to be completely straight. You have that slight bend in, drawing in that waist and just trying to get the whole body working to help yourself stay balanced. A few more seconds. Excellent, and then rest there. Good work. So just stretch it out, roll those shoulders back if you need to, because that's quite a static exercise, it's quite hard work. And then we're going to come down onto the floor and we're going to finish with some core work. So we're going to sit down you can bring one weight over actually. So seated with your legs bent, and we're going to start with the Russian twist. So again, you don't have to do this with a weight, but if you do, you can bring it in just to give yourself that added bit of challenge. So your legs are bent, keep the feet flat on the floor, or just the heels on the floor. If they were off the floor, you're just going to make it more challenging. It's absolutely fine, but a couple of variations there. And just trying to twist around as much as possible. So we're just doing this based on time, about 30 seconds. If you need to rest, come out, have a breather and go back in. You're going to feel this, if you've got a weight in your hand, you're going to feel this in your arms as well as your waist and your side obliques. You might feel it in your back, so do come out and relax. Brilliant, and then rest there. Good work. Okay, so a reverse crunch and reaching up towards the ceiling. So we're in a similar position as we just were. So seated with our legs bent and our feet staying on the floor, and our hands start at our knees or our arms are out. So we're just going to slide down our legs with our hands, rolling the back down and then coming back up again. So not all the way, just a small reverse crunch, just lowering ourselves up. And when you come up, you're going to reach the hands up towards the ceiling and really try to pull your waist and your back nice and straight. So here, in that position, we're engaging the back. So if you pause there, so we're really trying to draw that waist in and extend and stretch through. So that's hard work holding yourself in that position. And then, continue because you're probably achy there. And then coming up, reaching up. So just slow it down. It's a slow, controlled exercise here. Again, let's just do it based on time. Coming up and reaching. So you don't have to go down as far as Toby's going down at all. So you literally can just go down a little bit and then reach up a little bit, rolling down and come up. Because it is very challenging. Again, what we need to focus on is the breath and making sure that you're not holding on to that and just breathing through. But absolutely, take a rest when you need to and go back into it when you can. Okay, so we're going to move on to back extension. So you're going to lie down on your front, flat out, and you can have your hands out in front above your head or towards the side of your head, or at the back of your head. It's kind of however you feel most comfortable. And all we're going to do, using the breath, we're going to just bring the chest up off the floor and then lower back down again. So breathing in and lifting up, holding for a second and then lowering back down. A variation here could be your feet coming off the floor at the same time as the top of your back. That just makes it a little bit more challenging. So you don't have to do that. If your lower back is starting to pinch, just rest. Definitely don't bring your feet up. And just don't come up quite as high with your chest. If you feel like you need to stretch it out at any point, do so, and you can go into that child's pose position to sort of support the back after that. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to go into a plank. So we're going to go onto your forearms. So we can go into a half plank on your knees, just making sure the shoulders are over the elbows, and you're just drawing in that belly button towards the spine, engaging that core, and that is absolutely working your waist there. So you don't have to be on your toes, so you can just hold it in the position that Toby's in. If you feel like you can manage a full plank, great, come off the knees and stay down on your forearms, coming onto your toes and not dropping those hips too low. So Toby's in the perfect plank position there. So as I said sort of earlier in the other workout, just make sure you're not dropping those hips. If they're higher, that is fine. You're just making it a little bit easier on the waist. But yeah, ideally you're in a nice flat position, but that is hard. So focus on the breath, keep breathing through and rest when you need to. Just come down and out when you need to. Excellent. Okay, so to finish this whole workout, we're just going to hold it in a child's pose. So you're going to bring those hips back towards the ankles, leave the hands out in front. It's a lovely stretch to do after that plank as well, because you've worked the upper body across the top of your shoulders, top of your back, and obviously mainly your core. So it's a lovely stretch. So just nice deep breathing. Brilliant. And from this position, we're going to thread one arm underneath the chest and across. So we're just going to stretch out your back and your shoulder here. So you're threading one arm underneath, which we've done in our sessions many times. And then when you're ready, changing over to the other side, just bringing that other arm underneath, reaching across and just leaning on that shoulder that you threaded underneath. Okay, and then coming back out. And then lying yourself down flat on the mat again, so on your tummy, out flat. And then you're going to bring one ankle up towards the glute. So we're going to stretch out the quad. If you can reach, grab hold of that foot, trying to keep your hips, both hips on the floor. If you need some support in getting hold of your foot, you can if you've got a resistant band or a dressing gown rope or anything like that. You can sort of loop that over your foot and hold on to that cord and just pull it in. Or if you've got somebody in the house that can help you, it's a nice stretch going through the hip flexor and through the quad. And just focus on the breath and just relaxing into that stretch. And then when you're ready, just changing over sides. Okay, and then coming up to a stand slowly. And we're going to finish with that lovely full moon circle stretch. So feet just wider than your hips. And we're going to lean over, dropping the head, stretching through the back, breathing in with as you come up, and then breathe out, coming down. Hold it in the middle for a second, and then come up the opposite way, breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. And then very slowly rolling up through the spine, one vertebra at a time, and rolling those shoulders back. Excellent. And that is workout number 2 completed. Well done.